Welcome to Fantasy Audiobook, Comprehensive Comics, That Infinite Conquest. Chapter 21. Isn't Princess Agnes here today? Alpha was wearing a maid uniform, standing next to Mojay, and thoughtfully handed him a cup of black tea. Well, it seems that she is still in jail. She will come out on her own when she gets tired of being there, but she will probably enjoy a good iron fist beating from her father's love. Haha, Her Royal Highness is really an interesting person. Yes, Mojay is hard at work assembling parts. The customized parts were ready some time ago. In order to keep it secret, we even found different forging workshops, and the materials used were mythical metals like Oria Gang. Soon, a large silver-black revolver was assembled. It had a silver-black gun body, a white grip, and luxurious carvings covering the entire thing. There was also a short dagger installed under the muzzle. It combines classical elegance with the power of a weapon. Mojay couldn't help but sigh. What a deadly work of art. Putting bullets of 7 different elements into the special bullet nest in sequence, Mojay couldn't wait to find a target and pull the trigger. You made another strange prop. This one is very nice. What is it? Weapon, a deadly weapon called a revolver, but magically modified by me. Weapons. Alpha tilted her head in confusion. She looked at the gun carefully, trying to see something, but she had no choice but to give up after a while. No matter how you look at it, it looks like a work of art. If you want to say that the part that can be used as a weapon is the sharp blade under the silver-black tube. But if it is only used as a dagger, then the design is unreasonable. And Mojay would never make such a mistake. So Alpha said he couldn't understand. After all, this is a weapon he created. His unfathomable wisdom can even measure the distance between heaven and earth, which is far beyond his imagination. It is foolish to be good at making judgments. This is the most powerful hidden weapon in the world. Even the magic swordsman cannot dodge it within 10 steps. It will be killed with one hit. Even if you use magic to strengthen yourself, you cannot defend it. The most important thing is, anyone can use it. Use. Quote, quote. Alpha was speechless. A weapon that can be used by ordinary people and can kill a magic swordsman instantly. God, if word of this spreads, the structure of this world will definitely change. She didn't doubt Mojay's words at all. That's amazing, as expected of you. Alpha was helpless because of her poor language. She couldn't find words to praise the person in front of her. Even describing him as a genius was insufficient. It is truly a lifetime honor to follow him. Say, what happened? Huh, what do you mean? Alpha, do you think I can't even notice the changes in the people around me? You seem very lost today. What happened to you? Nothing. If it's nothing, the person responsible for serving me today should be Epsilon. He came here specially for the shift, but he didn't say anything. Do you want me to accompany you? Mojay put the revolver into the gun belt in his clothes, then with a smile on his face, he raised his hand and slapped it on the wall next to Alpha. Push the elf girl into the corner. Leniency for those who confess, lenience for those who resist. Quote, It's really hard to hide something in front of you. Also, this posture is a bit inexplicably shy, if someone comes in. Master Alpha, today's report, I didn't see anything. Like a fateful coincidence, the silver-haired elf Beta came to interrupt with a report on something in his hand, and happened to witness this scene. Mojay held Alpha's chin with one hand and pressed him against the wall with the other hand. The handsome boy's mature charm that was inconsistent with his age made the beautiful blonde elf blush shyly. The sun shines on them through the window, and the black and blonde hair are intertwined. People can't help but sigh at what a beautiful scene. It is as beautiful as a picture. Sorry, I'll take my leave first. Beta subconsciously covered her face with her hands, but she could only not cover her face completely. She looked through the gap between her fingers and stared at the two of them intently. But the information in my hand was scattered all over the place. She hurriedly picked it up and finally ran away. This was a huge shock to her as a pure girl, but the silver-haired elf had a look of envy in her eyes. Quote, How should I face that child tomorrow? You must have done it on purpose. Haha, exposed. Why do you do this? Because Alpha is very cute and serious, I just want to tease him a little bit, and I have been working too hard recently, so I need to relax a little. Mojay gently touched Alpha's blonde hair. The excellent touch was better than the highest grade silk. Coupled with this luxurious hair color, it shined like gold. Last time when I was looking for Devil's Possession, I accidentally met members of Diabola's order. Mojay didn't kill it, but used Gios to charm it. Oh no, it turned it into one of its own agents. After that, it became easy to obtain information about Devil's Possession, and there was no need for the two of them to try their luck every time. In just half a year, the number of people in Dark Knight Courtyard increased to more than 70 people. In addition to Alpha and Beta, who first appeared, he named 5 girls: Gamma, Delta, Epsilon, Zeta, and Eta. The first 7 people who joined were the leaders and were called the 7 Shadows. As the number of people in the courtyard has increased, your work has also increased, but you have been working too hard recently. Take a rest. This is an order. Yes, Alpha agreed with a wry smile. As the master of Dark Knight Courtyard, his orders are absolute, and even Alpha must obey them immediately and unconditionally. This is so domineering yet gentle. Then, tell me if you have any troubles. It is also the king's duty to listen to the troubles of his subordinates. Well, I guess so. Okay, actually it's not a big deal, I had a little argument with the witch. Alpha and CC. This is really surprising. CC's appearance appeared in Moji's mind, and she thought that the witch who had lived for who knows how long actually argued with the elf girl. Although I don't know exactly what happened. But anyway. Mojay, let's change tonight's pizza to durian flavor and add some mustard. You had an argument with CC. This really surprised me. What did you two say? Mojay asked with interest. Neither Alpha nor CC are unstable people. The former has the temperament of an organizational leader at a young age, just like the strong female CEOs of large companies in her previous life. The latter has a lot of life experience. Although the witch is free and willful, she is probably too lazy to quarrel. If it were Delta and Zeta, or Beta and Epsilon arguing, then nothing will happen to Mojay. It seems like you haven't done anything yet. Mojay took a look and saw that the girl's breath was stable and there was no fight. Well, in fact, if we really want to take action, the loser will definitely be CC. Now Alpha's strength is only inferior to hers. If a fight really breaks out, the immortal witch can only be her punching bag. Speaking of which, I don't know why, but after I gave names to Alpha and others, they somehow became stronger. Close black lens bracket. The same goes for everyone else in the courtyard. After being given a name for some reason, everyone has become stronger to varying degrees. It's really incredible in this world that you can become stronger by giving a name. Close black lens bracket. After sighing, it really is a different world, and there are many places full of mysteries. Mojay liberated the elf girl by Dong, and Alpha spoke after adjusting his mentality slightly. Actually, I don't know why. We got into an argument when we came to our senses while talking, but now that I think about it, it's probably because of my immaturity. Alpha said with a wry smile. At this moment, Mojay noticed a tuft of green hair swaying outside the window, but he listened quietly to the girl's words and did not expose it. About an hour ago, in the castle courtyard, Alpha is practicing her sword skills on her own. During this time, the number of people in Dark Knight Courtyard has increased dramatically, and her workload as the first seat has also increased dramatically. After Mojay taught her the treatment method of devil possession, they were able to save the descendants of heroes like themselves. Then there is the programming of the organization, arranging training, teaching tactics, explaining the truth, and her own training. Alpha is so busy that it is fulfilling. Then a passing witch made an invitation. Hey, elf over there, what will happen if you take a little rest? Didn't you realize that your sword is about to fall off? You are Miss CC. It's me, want pizza. Is that okay? Thank you. You're welcome. I can only take 2 pieces. After being reminded by the witch, Alpha also realized that he had worked too hard. He hadn't even eaten lunch yet and his stomach was growling, so he accepted CC's kindness. Alpha is curious about this witch. CC did not join Dark Knight Courtyard. Although she lives in the boys' castle like herself and the other girls, her relationship with Mojay is probably the most complicated. He is a subordinate of Mojay. Ramlam is his maid. Or simply put, Mojay is their master. But what is the relationship between this witch and him? Alpha is curious about this, but what was Miss CC like before? Who knows, I have almost forgotten what happened in the past, and your side seems to be more interesting than my side. Even if you ask questions, you will be fooled. This witch seems lazy and undisciplined, but she is surprisingly flawless. The only thing that is known about her is that she likes pizza the most, and this food was developed by Mojay. That guy is really awesome. He is even so good at cooking, but thinking about it, it seems that everything is natural. Your destiny has really been rewritten. Ah. Although I thought that person had the power to change other people's destiny, I didn't expect that he could do it to such an extent. Miss CC, you mean? Have you not noticed? Yes, it is difficult for a person to realize this kind of thing. Then the witch took out a mirror from somewhere and placed it in front of the elf. Looking at the beautiful face reflected above, Alpha was still puzzled. See for yourself, there is no resentment in your eyes. Originally, your fate should be to become a fanatic seeking revenge against the Diabolus order, and your eyes would be filled with despair, anger, and deathly silence. Well, but this is not the case. Although you are still seeking revenge against the Diabolus order, your eyes are very bright, without a trace of pollution. Indeed it is. Alpha looked at himself in the mirror. Wearing a training uniform, even though he is sweating, he looks even more charming, it makes you want to lick him. Not only does he not have any gloom, but he can also smile. Originally this was impossible. After being possessed by the devil, she lost everything, including her family, friends, status, appearance, and shelter. She was supposed to be a resentful avenger, with a dark haze in her eyes, obsessed with the destruction of the Diabolus order. This is her original destiny. But the reason why it didn't become like this. It's all thanks to Mo. After realizing this again, Alpha's cheeks turned slightly red and he showed an absolutely adorable smile. Yeah, I didn't become a slave of revenge, it's all because of his redemption. Alpha's cheeks turned slightly red, showing an absolutely adorable smile. Normally he always behaves like a calm and reliable elite, but when it comes to topics related to Mojay, he turns into a simple little fangirl. He saved not only my people, but also my heart. Without Mo, I must have been broken. Close black lens bracket. Just imagining his own if line as the Dark Avenger, Alpha couldn't help but feel lingering fear. Life is really scary. Just one step makes a world of difference. She felt more and more grateful to Mojay. She was given a new name so that she could break away from the despair of the past. She was given a new mission, allowing her to find a goal to move forward and get rid of her confusion. There are also new shelters. The devil-possessed girls who were abandoned like Alpha gathered together to create the Dark Knight Courtyard, which became the new home for the girls after losing their shelter. Before she fell completely to the lowest level of despair, the Black Prince pulled her back. I really don't know how to thank Mokai. I can't repay this kindness even in my lifetime. What a sinful man. No, it's too early to call that kid a man. CC couldn't help but complain when he saw Alpha's expression of an innocent girl who was just beginning to have feelings for him. Speaking of which, if you are so popular at a young age, will you still be popular when you grow up? Gee, he must be a great scumbag. Close black lens bracket. The witch knows that currently all the members of Dark Knight Courtyard are girls. And they all have a longing for Mojay who gave them salvation. But if you insist on saying it, this longing is the key to saving the girls. Instead of hatred for the cult, Mojay himself becomes the pillar supporting their hearts. Especially for the 7 girls who were cured by Mojay himself, especially Alpha. It looks like there is no hope, and I am completely dependent. Close black lens bracket. CC looked at Alpha dumbfounded. As a witch who had lived for a long time, how could she not see the elf girl's condition with her eyes? It's completely hopeless. That person has become her spiritual support. Even love cannot be described. It is a further spiritual dependence. Today's pizza doesn't seem to taste very good. Is it because the ingredients are bad? Close black lens bracket. CC suddenly felt a sense of irritation. Looking at the elf with reddish cheeks in front of her, she frowned slightly and spoke without knowing why. Alpha, of course it's okay if you just follow Mojay, but don't fall in love with him. This is the witch's advice to you. What's the meaning? Alpha couldn't help but be stunned. Whether it was genuine kindness or fooling, the witch's advice made her instinctively unhappy. Why couldn't she fall in love with that person? Alpha. I haven't fallen in love yet, I'm just curious. Well, that's it. Close black lens bracket. Although CC seems to be only 17 years old, she has an indescribable temperament, like a traveler who has been wandering for a long time and experienced countless experiences. No, it should be more than that. Travelers only wander around in different cities, while witches are wandering in history, souls that have settled in the endless years brought about by immortality. This woman with peerless appearance. Withstand the wear and tear brought by time. Those eyes that seemed to be uninterested in anything always held an indescribable sadness and loneliness. It was as if she had seen so many tragedies that sadness had solidified in her eyes. What such a person says will make people feel right inexplicably, so Alpha feels that he must ask clearly. Why can't you fall in love with him? Because you can't move his heart. Varied. The witch looked into the distance and said as if she was mocking something. Don't you think it's unfair? His every move can touch your heart, a compliment can make you happy all day long, a smile can make your heart flutter, and a touch can make you bump into each other. Quote, quote. CC walked up to Alpha. She narrowed her eyes slightly and pointed her finger at the elf girl's heart. What the witch said were facts that Alpha could not refute. But what about you? Can you make Moji's heart beat? That man's heart is harder than a stone. Have you seen his strong will with your own eyes? The witch looked directly into the elf's eyes. The spoken question made the latter extremely shaken. Alpha, do you have the confidence to let Moj fall in love with you? Quote, quote. The answer is no, absolutely not. Alpha is very confident about his appearance, but if he has no confidence, Moj will be moved by him. Will that person really like him? She was just one of the girls he picked up, and she was in the position of admirer, the one he looked up to, so it was impossible to have confidence. The elf girl lowered her head with a complicated expression, clenched her little hands, and after a few seconds of silence, she spoke as if she had realized something. It doesn't matter. Oh, I have already received so much from him, including knowledge, power, name, and a place to stay. At this point, I am not qualified to ask for more. All I can do is to try my best to repay the favor. Even if he doesn't like me, no, it doesn't matter. This feeling does not need to be reciprocated, and I am not qualified to ask him to reciprocate it. CC's eyes widened slightly. I didn't expect Alpha to be so aware. Unilateral dedication without expecting anything in return is such a touching spirit of dedication. But wanting to be a licking dog at such a young age is really embarrassing. I think it's better for you to be greedy. This, that, and so on. Anyway, that kid is very fond of his own people. He may give you a concubine in the future. Really, quote. Just pretend I didn't say it. CC. Eye twitching. Is it really okay to be so humble? From the witch's perspective, it is easy to see that she will definitely be a stunning beauty who will captivate the whole country in the future, but in the end she is satisfied with just being a concubine. A wise man never falls in love. I guess no one is more qualified to say this than me. It feels like I am mocking myself when I say it. Close black lens bracket. Recalling her original past, the immortal witch smiled sadly. Is this really good? You are still very young. Don't you think it's too impulsive to decide to devote all your life to this? No, I won't regret it. I have seen the most brilliant sun, and my eyes will no longer be attracted by fireflies. Alpha said with a smile and confidence. She will never fall in love with someone else. Because the best people are around you. For her, even if all the remaining men in the world were put together, they would not be as brilliant as Moj. Really, but remember to be careful, because the sun's brilliance is so dazzling that it can accidentally burn your eyes. It doesn't matter even if my eyes are burned, because it's of my own free will. Quote. I've really become stupid. Sure enough, there is no more dangerous emotion in this world than love. Even a smart person will instantly become a fool after falling in love with someone. For the sake of the people we live with, I've already given you advice. CC said helplessly. After she saw the elf girl smiling and eager to devote herself to Moj, she only felt more irritated. I don't want to continue chatting. The witch picked up the remaining pizza and planned to leave. Let's find a place to fish today too. However, at this moment, thank you for your advice, but I will definitely become his strength, fulfill his ideals, and destroy the Diabolus order. Really? Come on, wait, what did you just say? Fulfill his ideal and destroy the Diabolus order, what happened? Cece, who was about to leave, stopped. She blinked her golden eyes and looked at Alpha blankly, then the witch chuckled. Hehe, what are you doing? It turns out you don't know yet. It seems like I was worried for nothing. What does this mean? It's nothing, I just feel like I'm overthinking it. After all, you don't even know his true wishes, so it's useless no matter how much you say. Cece shrugged and sat back down. Moji's true wish, what does it mean? Please tell me quickly. Alpha frowned, and she suddenly felt panicked, as if she had discovered that she had made a mistake about something very important. Cece folded his arms and chuckled. His ideal is not something as trivial as destroying the Diabolus order. I have been with Moj for a few years, so I know that even if he always talks about wanting to be a king, it is just the starting point of his ideal, and it is an absolutely unattainable delusion. The green-haired witch said assertively. There was sadness and regret in her tone. The boy's true wish was so difficult that even conquering the world seemed easy in comparison. What Moj really wants to do is change the world. Change to be full of beauty and happiness. As sweet as honey. A more dreamy and perfect world than a fairy tale. Listening to it makes people laugh. I can only say that it is really a dream that only children can have. The witch has lived for countless years and has witnessed and experienced countless tragedies. Therefore, Cece asserts that the essence of the world is cruelty. It is a set of tragedies that can never be changed. You should ask Moj yourself for the specific details. Wait, Cece, just destroying an organization, how could that person take such a trivial matter as his ideal? After all, he has no enmity with the Diabolus order, right? Quote. Alpha was stunned. Indeed, it was the demon possessions who had a grudge against the Diabolus order. It was only because of their own preconceptions that they thought Moji's dream was also the destruction of the order. Alpha realized at this moment that this was a huge mistake and what a stupid idea it was. The person I admire, how could his pattern be so small? She obviously decided to dedicate herself to him, but in the end, she even got his true intentions wrong. Alpha's cheeks were hot now, and he just felt so embarrassed and ashamed. I see. I really haven't told you, Alpha. There's nothing I can do about the misunderstanding. But I don't understand you. Alpha, being able to understand something without explaining it is just a luxury for people, so this is not your problem. Moj touched the girl's head comfortingly. He indeed had no grievances against the cult, and no matter how many bad things the other party did, it did not affect Moj. Even so, he decided to destroy it. It's not just for Alpha and the others. It's because the Order of Diablos is very different from the perfect world in Moji's mind. In the world he wants to realize, the order is redundant, so it must be destroyed. It's just something as simple as that. Mo, I want to know more about you. Excellent, I allow it. I want to know what your ideals are. If you want to know, then let me tell you, my true and complete ideal is to create a flawless world under my control, where everything is in accordance with my preferences. There was light in Moji's eyes. Alpha, who was so close, was shocked by his domineering and heroic spirit, and his whole body was filled with passion and emotion as he listened to his ideals. What I want to create is an ideal land, a gentle and beautiful dream world that is like being immersed in sweet honey. There will be no difference and tragedy, no darkness and crime, no racial discrimination, and there will be no tragedy like devil possession. A world of only prosperity and peace. Quote. When saying these words, Moji's pupils seemed to have flames burning. And it was just as the witch said. This is such an overestimating ideal. Because it is so beautiful, it seems so dreamy and false that it cannot even be imagined. But Moj is going to challenge this dream. It is rare to be reincarnated in this world. How can you be content with being ordinary? Since you want to live. Of course, we must live a dazzling and wonderful life. I will definitely realize this illusory dream that no one dares to dream, and then I will become the Carmel of the new world. Oh no, it's the king. Moj showed an uninhibited smile, and he opened his arms as if to embrace the entire sky. Alpha couldn't help but be robbed of his sight, his heartbeat, and his thoughts. She felt her blood boiling, so she couldn't help but kneel down on one knee, raised her hand and put it on her heart, and lowered her head to the young man. Dark Knight. No, my king, please allow me, who is insignificant, to be your strength. I will dedicate my life and body to you and your ideals without leaving anything behind. Great, I allow it. If Mojay could see the favorability score, he would now find that Alpha's loyalty to him is almost overwhelming. Looking at the elf kneeling in front of him, he was in a good mood. Open black lens bracket. What a lovely girl, close black lens bracket. Suddenly an idea flashed across my mind. It would seem pretty good if Alpha could be his princess. He's capable, good-looking, and loyal. It's not easy to find a single flaw. What am I thinking about? Let's wait until we are a few years older to discuss this matter. Close black lens bracket. Both of them are still teenagers around 10 years old. Although they are both intelligent and almost demonic, it is still too early for that kind of thing. Alpha, take it, this is your reward. Not this one. I specially prepared this for you. Only by protecting yourself first can you be loyal to me, right? Mojay took out a gift box and handed it to Alpha. What is contained in this gift box is not a dress, not jewelry, and not a romantic gift such as a ring. It was a platinum-carved revolver. Although she might not be able to use it due to her strength, it was good as a talisman. The method of use is very simple. Load these bullets into the magazine, load the gun, aim at the enemy and pull the trigger. It's so beautiful. I like it very much. Thank you, Mo. I will cherish it and use it. Alpha held the gun in his arms, and his little face, which was developing from cute to beautiful, was full of joy and seriousness. Great. Mojay also nodded. By the way, regarding CC, I hope you don't hate her. Well, how should I put it? She also has her own situation. I know, I don't care about it anymore. The sadness I felt just now has disappeared after talking to you. Haha, it's incredible. Alpha tied the gun belt to his leg, and then carefully put the carved revolver into it. Looking at his reflection in the window, the elf's pointed ears were twitching. This is the first time I got a gift from Mo, so happy. Close black lens bracket. Then the overly serious elf said he would hurry up and train. He is obviously a genius, but he works harder than ordinary people, just to be useful to someone. All I can say is that there is no doubt that he has the attributes of a loyal dog. Wait for Alpha to leave the study. Mojay turned to look out the window. The witch hiding over there can come out now. ... I didn't mean to bully her. What a mess. Really, from my point of view, it's a great success. Mojay held his head and joked. The quarrel between the witch and the elf ended up taking advantage of him, allowing Mojay to directly increase the elf girl's favorability. CC rolled his eyes. This person took all the advantages. It was really annoying. But she was still a little confused. Why would she say that? Why did you feel irritable at that time? That behavior is nothing like myself. People sometimes do things they can't understand, but is that even the case with witches? Just when CC was so confused, Mojay asked after hesitating for a while. Hey, CC, are you jealous of Alpha? Mojay, what did you suddenly say? Why should I be jealous of Alpha? There is no reason at all. Because she was saved. Quote ? Exclamation mark. Quote. Mojay's words made CC freeze. As smart as she was, she immediately understood what it meant. Alpha was saved by Mojay when she was in the most desperate and difficult time, so she gained a new life from a fate that should have been ruined. But what about yourself? The witch herself has lost count. After all, she had been experiencing disappointment, failure, and loss for who knows how many years. She had almost forgotten even her first memory. Bound by the curse of immortality, she longs to be saved by someone. Quote. What, is that so? It's really ridiculous that I, even though I'm like this, still worry about others. The witch smiled wryly at herself. She leaned against the wall and covered her face with one hand. Don't let anyone see your expression. After understanding why she did what she did, emotions suddenly surged up, making the proud witch feel aggrieved. Really envious. So jealous. It's really unfair. It was obvious that I was not saved at that time, and it was obvious that I was still like this after waiting for so long. But you, Alpha, met Mojay so easily and were saved so easily. CC, are you okay? Mojay, don't ask me. I'm not that kind of fragile woman. I don't need sympathy from others. I'm just a little sentimental. So far no one has been able to free her. So far no one has fulfilled her wish. The witch was ashen in the center of constant disappointment. A life that just keeps repeating cannot be called living. She wants to end this meaningless life, but she is not even allowed to die. How she wished someone would put a stop to it. CC looked out the window sadly. Mojay, do you know why the snow is white? Because she forgot her own color. CC, I'm tired of it. My memory has been worn out too much. I can no longer remember my original self. The people who hated me in the past and the people who were kind to me have all disappeared with the passage of time. There is no end to it. As time goes by, I'm alone. There was a sparkle in the golden eyes, and a tear fell from CC's eye. The witch gave a self-deprecating wry smile, as if she was surprised that she was still crying, and her tears had not yet dried up. Suddenly, at this moment, a black cloak covered her shoulders, and CC turned around blankly. Mojay was looking directly at her. You are not alone, CC. If you are a witch, then all I need to do is become the devil, the most benevolent and benevolent devil. Mojay, we are accomplices. Even if you are against the world, you must be by my side. On the other hand, I promise you that I will not let you be alone until you find your own meaning. Mojay, is this comfort, pity, or persistence? CC looked directly into Mojay's eyes. The two people's eyes reflected each other's figures, mixed with sadness, pain and a little expectation. The Black Prince said seriously, it's a contract, and those who break their promises will never be spared. Okay, then I'll make it. This contract will definitely not be broken. It's agreed. The Green Witch held his hand, and the contract came into effect, and it could not be broken even by death. And I know why snow is white. Although the answer is not romantic at all, what I want to say is, CC, I like white snow very much. Really, you like it? The witch wiped the corners of her eyes and smiled. About 3 years passed after that. Life is really full of surprises. I didn't expect that it would develop to this extent because of the opportunity of a book like this. Mojay stroked the cover of a book with a sigh. It was the banned book, Demon Diablos vs. the Three Heroes, that Agnes had brought to her. Use this book as an opportunity. He meets Alpha. The Dark Knight Courtyard was established. Then it developed to the present, and the number of members of Dark Knight Courtyard exceeds 300. Everyone is very grateful to the Lord for giving us a new life. Without you, we would have become experimental subjects of the cult. Standing next to Mojay was a silver-haired elf, who was the beta she had picked up. At this moment, her image was completely different from before. Wearing a maid outfit with a black and white skirt and short silver hair, she belongs to a race with outstanding appearance. The tear mole at the corner of her eye adds to her charm. And the slime that never looks up but never looks down, is guaranteed to have at least E. It's really worrying whether she can see her feet when she walks. Actually, it's not just her. When I first picked them up, they were still a group of little Lolita, but now they can all be called girls, and they are steadily moving towards becoming a queen. Well, except for one of the 7 shadows. Ahem, Beta, please report the recent status and achievements of the courtyard. Yes, Lord Dark Knight. This month we have destroyed 5 small strongholds and 1 medium stronghold of the Diabolos Order, and 8 new members have joined. Now there are 317 people in total. There are only 6 strongholds in total this month, which seems a bit low. I'm very sorry. It seems that the sect has noticed the existence of the spy, and is now more cautious than before. It is difficult for the spy created by Lord Anya to bring back the information. It doesn't matter, think about it. I've been hit so many times, even a fool knows how to deal with it. Mojay waved his hand and didn't pay much attention. The conflict between Dark Knight Courtyard and Cult of Diablos is also escalating day by day, and Mojay leads the girls to win many battles. The biggest reason is not only that it is strong enough, but also that Gias's absolute compliance allows the enemy to become one of our own and provides countless intelligence. Currently, more than 90% of the devil's possessions in the kingdom have been rescued and have joined the Dark Knight Courtyard. However, As the number of members increased, problems within the courtyard also gradually increased. Among them, the most serious and unsolvable problem is the rise of yin and the decline of yang. It is obviously an organization with more than 300 people, but there is only one male, Mo Jie, which is outrageous. At first Mo Jie thought it was a coincidence. But later I found out there was a reason. Because the 3 heroes who defeated Diablos were all women, those who showed symptoms of devil possession were all girls. Most of them were elves and orcs. Because elves have the longest lifespan among the 3 races and are the most difficult to reproduce, their bloodline is the least diluted and the concentration of bloodline is the highest. The probability of devil possession appearing among elves is far higher than that of orcs and humans. Next are the orcs whose lifespan is about the same as that of humans, but their reproductive ability is so strong that they can give birth to 1 litter in a lifetime. Finally, there are the humans whose numerical values are mediocre. Currently, in Dark Knight Courtyard, 50% are elves, 40% are orcs, and 10% are humans. Mo Jie. To put it simply, this prince is surrounded by a group of elf girls and beast-eared girls. According to the laws of the 2-dimensional world, the stronger the person, the more beautiful he will be, probably. And the 3 heroes who defeated Diablos were all beauties, probably. Then, the thicker the bloodline of the hero he inherits, the stronger his strength, and the higher his appearance, so the 300 members are all beautiful girls with good looks. It can be said that someone lives in the garden of a beautiful girl every day. I can only say that the name of this organization is really not wrong at all. By the way, is everyone okay? Yes, although there are occasional injuries, there have never been any casualties. This is also thanks to Lord Anya's wisdom and gifts. Well, that's good. Each of you are my important subordinates, partners, subjects, and even family members. I hope you will put safety first and tell everyone that the mission may fail but your life will be saved by me, even if you crawl, you have to crawl home for me. Mo Jie said extremely seriously. In his eyes, the life of even one of these girls who are willing to follow him is much more important than all the thieves of the Diabolos Order +1. Ah, what gentle words. Beta was immediately moved to tears. It is precisely because Mo Jie takes everyone seriously that the girls in the courtyard love him, look forward to him, and worship him. It can be said that everyone in Dark Knight Courtyard is protected by Mo Jie, and every member is equipped with magic firearms, which greatly improves the girl's survivability and combat power. It can be regarded as Beta at this moment. Under her maid's skirt, her slender legs are also tied with a leg ring and a magic revolver. With these magic items, Dark Knight Courtyard, which already has superior personal strength, becomes even stronger. Basically, I keep pressing Cult of Diablos every time. Even if I get caught in a trap occasionally, I can still get out of the siege at the cost of some injuries. After learning that these magic weapons came from Mo Jie, the girls in the courtyard worshipped him like a torrent of water. The Lord is so generous and gentle. He not only gave us a new life, a name, and a place to stay when we should have been destroyed, but also gave us knowledge and strength. So as long as it is for the Lord, we will do our best. Beta quickly knelt down on one knee and swore a heartfelt oath. That's great. Do you have any plans for today? Mo Jie nodded with satisfaction, raised his hand and touched her head like a reward and asked. Yes, according to the information that the internal agents finally sent, the cult has kidnapped another girl who is suspected to be a descendant of the hero. Name, place, time. The next second Beta turned the lamp base. The desktop in front of Mo Jie automatically reversed and turned into a detailed map of the entire kingdom. Beta pointed at the map and reported very professionally. The name of the kidnapped person is Clare Kageno. The location is the barony of Kageno. She is expected to be taken away in 5 hours. Mo Jie said with narrowed eyes. Really? Then let's take a walk after a long time. Really? Then let's take a walk after a long time. Mo Jie twisted his neck slightly, and his lazy gaze became sharp, like a sword about to be unsheathed. Lord Anyi personally goes into battle. I'll go and gather men right away. Beta seemed to be terrified, but also seemed to be looking forward to it. He didn't expect to see his master take action today. His master rarely took action himself, but every time he took action, he would show his absolute power and save them from being trapped in water and fire. After seeing Mo Jie's eyes like an unsheathed sword, the girl's heart was filled with excitement. She took out a notebook from her two slimes and sketched something. Go ahead. Mojay gave a slight glance. How can I put it? Girls are really amazing, and the same goes for Sister Agnes. You can always store things in wonderful places like skirts or chests. I'm not a girl, so I don't know. Why do those places have their own storage space? After a few minutes, everyone was summoned. For an enemy of this level, dispatching the 7 shadows is too fussy. Let's spread it out a little. Alpha, Zeta and I will be responsible for leading the rescue team. The remaining Beta, Epsilon, and Delta will be responsible for clearing all dangers in the area. Molecular. As you command, my lord. X5. The 5 beautiful girls bowed in unison and responded. Mojay didn't want to waste his combat power. Well, it was already quite a waste. The 7 shadows of Dark Knight Courtyard are 7 girls who were treated and adjusted by themselves. Each of them has a good fighting style and extraordinary strength. Although there are still 2 people who have no talent points in combat. Anyway, Mojay decided to do some general cleaning. Not only the Diabola's order, the troops were divided into 2 groups to rescue, while the other group went to clean up all the evil thieves in the area. Killing to stop evil works well in this world. Then, Dark Knight Courtyard attacks. Snapped, Mojay said and snapped his fingers. The next second, the space in front of everyone cracked like a broken mirror. The distance that originally took several hours to travel could be reached immediately with just one step of the snap of fingers. As expected of Lord Anya, all the girls showed respect at the same time. What a powerful ability. They had seen with their own eyes the scene where Mojay used space magic to divide a high mountain with a single stroke. This is an ability that no one has mastered. No, it should be said that only he is worthy of it. It is mysterious and majestic. He is worthy of being our master. Alpha and Zeta stood beside Mojay, with several girls behind them. Beta and Epsilon, as well as Delta, led the remaining team members. Everyone passed through space magic together. A medium-sized stronghold of the Order of Diablos. Tisk. That damn stinky girl. Viscount Olba frowned and pressed his bleeding neck. Unexpectedly, he was accidentally injured by the kidnapping target due to his carelessness. She has been restrained for a long time, but to be able to do that, she doesn't look like a noble daughter, she looks like a wild beast. Clare Kageno, the daughter of Baron Kageno, who has parents and a younger brother in her family, was judged by the cult to be a suspected descendant of a hero devil possession. But he is obviously a rich man, but he is not weak at all. Instead, he is very fierce. Even though his limbs are bound by chains, he still almost bites off Olba's neck with his teeth. Nothing has gone well lately, damn it. Olba cursed. The sect has been making a lot of moves recently. No, it should be said that it was forced. An organization named Dark Knight Courtyard appeared out of nowhere and is targeting the sect, and it is very powerful. Now many strongholds have been destroyed, and many soldiers of the religious sect have been killed. There is also a sharp decline in the number of the extremely important experimental subject, Devil's Possession, all of which were taken away by the Dark Knight Courtyard. Lord Orba, the investigation of the blood has been completed. It is confirmed that it is Devil's Possession. Very good, then prepare to take it away immediately. There have been wild dogs staring at the cult recently. If it is taken away again, the people above will be unhappy. Yes, but right now, boom. There was an explosion like thunder from the sky. It was obviously a stronghold built underground, but it also shook a few times. Orba suddenly felt an ominous premonition. What happened? Oh no, Mr. Olba, there are intruders. And the enemy is so strong. Damn it, take me there quickly. If they are ordinary thieves, then the guards in the stronghold can deal with them. The foundation of the order is far beyond ordinary people's imagination. Even the guards in such a stronghold have strength comparable to that of the knights. However, when Viscount Olba arrived, blood has spread all over the ground, and the guards who are comparable to the knights are almost dead. All of them were killed with one sword. It's enough to see the overwhelming difference in strength. They were all killed. How is this possible? Damn it, who is coming? HMPH, we are the Night Garden, sneaking into the night to hunt evil people. Different from a few years ago, Alpha has become slim and majestic, holding a long sword and pointing at the enemy in front of him. She was like an angel where the gods sat, a powerful and beautiful Valkyrie, in short, She was so beautiful that people were mesmerized. HMPH, we are the Night Garden, sneaking into the night to hunt evil people. Damn it. Did it really show up? Viscount Olba broke out in a cold sweat. He stared at the girls in front of him. The mountain-like pressure made his breathing disordered. How could such a ridiculous thing happen? Each of the girls in front of me exudes huge magic power that is 10 times more than that of ordinary people. The blonde elf who spoke just now. The beauty is breathtaking, but the magical aura she releases is indeed bottomless. Night Garden, who are you? Why do you know so much information about the cult? Olba broke into a cold sweat. At first, the cult didn't pay much attention to the sudden appearance of Dark Night Courtyard. After all, in the past hundreds of years, it is not that there were no organizations that knew of the existence of the Order due to coincidence and planned to become enemies. But they were all crushed to death mercilessly. I thought the same was true for Dark Night Courtyard, but soon Diabola's Order realized their mistake. They are really strong. What a threat. Once a small stronghold is discovered, it will definitely be destroyed, and the same is true for medium-sized strongholds. The most troublesome thing for the cult is the traitors. There are always traitors in the organization. As long as they are contacted by the courtyard, even the most loyal Deadpool will rebel. You are not qualified to know, miscellaneous cultivator. Mojay spoke calmly. His expression was a bit boring, and he rarely came for a walk, but it turned out to be another pile of trash, and he was not qualified to draw his sword. He felt like he was traveling. Although it feels good to be surrounded by beautiful girls, this tourist attraction is very poor. Appreciating the dungeon is not as good as appreciating the beauty of the girls. Wait, aren't you the second prince? Why are you here? Oh, you actually know this prince. Are you a noble? But since it is treason to help Diabola's Order kidnap people from our country. Mojay didn't expect that he would be recognized. But the other side was obviously more surprised. Could it be that you are the leader of Dark Night Courtyard? How is this possible? But if this is really the case, even the prince must die here. Hey, you want to kill this prince? Hey, I said you women, there is no need to play house with His Highness the Prince. How about joining our order? With your strength, status, reputation, wealth, you can get everything, and you may even have opportunities in the future. Become a Knight of the Round Table. Olba tried to use his words to incite the girls to rebel, but he didn't notice the way these girls looked at them, as if they were looking at fools. Mojay also shook his head in disappointment. What? You said you wanted to kill yourself, and you thought you had some means, but this is the result. Betray. Just ridiculous. How could anyone betray him? These girls are unspeakably loyal to him. It's just a clown. It's really boring. I'll go inside to save people first. You can handle the rest of the alphas on your own. I know, Dark Knight. Mojay walked past Viscount Olba indifferently, without even looking at him, just like an ant passing by. This made Viscount Olba, who quickly drew his sword to confront him, feel extremely insulted. This arrogant prince really doesn't take himself seriously at all. He was so angry that he wanted to slash him with a sword. But, why can't I move? Not to mention taking action, he didn't even dare to block Mojay's path, and instinctively dodged to the side to get out of the way of the young man. He had met Mojay once before, at a ball held by the royal family. The handsome young black prince single-handedly charmed all the noble daughters and was known as a magic genius at a young age. Even Euphilia Mazanta, the genius daughter of Duke Mazanta's family, is inferior. But at that time, Mojay did not have the aura he has now. This extremely arrogant, kingly aura was simply worse than His Majesty the King. Although the current heir to the throne is the third Prince Algard, compared with His Highness Mojay, his only advantage is that he is the princess's child and has blonde hair. I never expected it. This prince is actually the leader of the Dark Night Courtyard that gives Diabola's cult a headache. Viscount Olba judged this immediately, because of the extremely respectful attitude of those powerful girls towards Mojay. There was no doubt that he was the mastermind behind the scenes. It is unrealistic to kill them. These people are too strong, and I have obtained important information. Then my mission is to survive and escape. Close black lens bracket. Viscount Olba was not a fool. He immediately judged what he should do. He poured all his magic power into his feet and prepared to run away. At the same time, an excited expression appeared. I didn't expect that I would be able to gain so much this time. When I return to the order, I will definitely receive a huge award. However, how stupid. Mojay walked towards the dungeon without any care. Why did he dare to show his face to the enemy openly without any cover? It was because he was convinced that it was impossible for any enemy to bring the information back alive. Don't even think about running away. You have no way out. Let's capture him without mercy. Want to run away even when I'm waiting for you? Viscount Olba stayed in place in shock. Before his steps even touched the ground, several long swords were pointed at his neck in an instant. The girls in Dark Knight Courtyard are stronger than he imagined. It's difficult. Could it be that you are all descendants of heroes? It's impossible. Haven't the methods of treatment been lost long ago? Could it be that you are all devil possessors? Are you all descendants of heroes? No, it's impossible. The treatment method has been lost long ago. Viscount Olba was shocked. These girls who have far superior strength than ordinary people, one or two of them are already shocking, but now there are more than a dozen of them. This is simply abnormal. The only reasonable explanation is that he is a descendant of the hero, and he is also a descendant who broke through the curse of devil possession and successfully awakened. Otherwise their strength cannot be explained. Dark Knight Courtyard, who are you? You have actually mastered an awakening method that even the cult has not mastered. Everything is the wisdom of that lord. For our great lord, nothing is impossible in this world. Thief, you can die now. Damn it, how can it end here? Viscount Orba's face was ferocious. He released all his magic power in one breath. Only in this way could he push these awakened girls away. Then he seized the opportunity, immediately took out a bottle of red medicine from his arms, and reluctantly took one of the pills. Oh, the next second the magic power ran away. Viscount Olba's body swelled and twisted, and his strength instantly increased several times, although his appearance also became very ugly. I see, first I deliberately let the magic go wild, and then suppressed it forcibly. Is this a drug that imitates devil's possession? Alpha made his judgment calmly. The beautiful elves and the ugly monsters are in sharp contrast. According to the fairy tale, there is no doubt that the former is the weak side. But, that's all, but you still want to be our enemy. You're obviously an adult, but you're very naive. Wah, what? Not only is it a false power, but the side effects are very serious. In the final analysis, it is just an imitation of the devil's possession, but we are the real devil's possession. Viscount Olba was suddenly stunned. As Alpha said, this medicine is made to imitate their devil's possession, which can instantly enhance the strength of the user, but how can the imitation be as good as the real thing? Alpha calmly drew his sword. What followed was a one-sided crushing. The beautiful elf performs her sword dance. This deadly art learned from the Black Prince can unilaterally kill an adult who is decades older than him. In just a few breaths, Viscount Olba's hands and feet were severed. How is it possible? It's not just magic power, it's also technology. How on earth did you do it at your age? Viscount Olba fell to his knees in embarrassment. He looked at Alpha with trembling and jealousy. What on earth do you need to do to reach such a state at such an age? You must know that he is not a weakling. He has participated in the God of War festival in the past, and he is also a veritable strong man in the outer world. It's over. Alpha deadpanned. She concentrated her magic power on the blade, and then slashed it towards Viscount Orba. This was so powerful that it even caused a sonic boom. Boo-ha! Unexpected resilience. Although he has become powerless, he is not dead yet. The powerful recovery power brought about by taking the medicine is slightly beyond the elf's expectations. Then let's add the final blow. Wait a moment. Seeing Alpha putting the tip of the sword against his heart, Viscount Olba panicked completely. Do you have any last words? Or you can choose to tell me valuable information, which will make you happy. Calm down. Think about it carefully. You don't need to follow Prince Mojay, do you? Join our order. With your talents and strength, you will definitely have a bright future. Alpha's face gradually darkened. Prince Mojay has the lowest right to inherit the throne. It would be a waste for talents like you to follow such a little devil. Leave me alive and I will introduce you to the religious order. The girls in the Dark Knight Courtyard collectively released their murderous intent, and Zeta, the sixth among the seven shadows, gritted his teeth. That black hair that's not even gold is so ominous, it's simply evil. Poof. This is the sound of flesh and blood being penetrated. Viscount Olba opened his eyes wide, and severe pain came from his mouth and chest. He looked up blankly and found that he was surrounded unknowingly. The girls who had been expressionless just now had cold eyes. Shut up, you bastard. X2. Alpha was filled with murderous intent, and the long sword in his hand pierced Orba's mouth and tongue. Zeta was even more angry and trembling. She didn't even use her sword, she directly penetrated Olba's heart with her hand and held it tightly. You, a scumbag like you, dare to insult our beloved lord. I will never forgive you. XN. There is only one end for you. Death, death, death. XN. The girls unleashed unprecedented killing intent. They raised the swords in their hands and pierced the enemies who insulted their beloved lord from all directions. At the last moment when Olba died, he realized that he had stepped on the minefield of girls. For the girls in Dark Knight Courtyard, the Black Prince's status in their hearts is supreme and cannot be insulted. And the price of this mistake was his life. Idiot who doesn't want to die. Zeta said coldly. Idiot who doesn't want to die. Zeta said coldly. The sixth seat of Dark Knight Courtyard is a heroic golden leopard with white hair, leopard ears and tail. Her strength is enough to rank among the top 3 in the courtyard, with only Alpha being able to hold her head firmly. At the same time, her resentment towards the cult of Diablos and her respect for Mojay are also among the best. Snort. Zeta shook off the bright red on her hand and showed a disgusted expression. The blood of the thief who insulted the Lord was simply filthy in her opinion. After all, we are cats, so it is normal to have misophobia. Unlike other members of the courtyard, Zeta can be said to be very lucky from a certain perspective, but it can also be said to be the most unlucky. She was not abandoned even after she was discovered with devil possession. Zeta's parents loved their child deeply, and not only did they not abandon her, they even tried to find a cure. But unfortunately, the Order of Diablos discovered Zeta's existence. So the cult instigated other orc tribes to cause disputes. They killed Zeta's tribe, killed Zeta's parents who protected Zeta, and even killed her young brother in front of the girl. This hatred was unforgettable, and she fell into a deeper darkness than Alpha did. But that's why, when Zeta met Mojay and was rescued from the darkness, her heartfelt love and respect for Mojay were immediately filled. Even to the point of being a bit dangerous. But now someone was actually insulting her most beloved master in front of her. Zeta, who was usually cold, just wanted to crush Orba to ashes. Bite your soul into pieces. Everyone please control your emotions. Quote. Yes, Lord Alpha, let's go to Dark Knight. He should have rescued people. In the dungeon, are you showing symptoms yet? Mojay found Clare Kageno. Compared with other demon possessions which are basically locked up in a cage like a wild beast, it can be said to be a luxury upgraded version of treatment. 4 magic chains bound the girl's limbs and were firmly fixed under the wall. It seemed that they were tied while she was sleeping. The girl was still wearing a light nightgown. Mojay glanced at it for a few times and didn't care. Well, Alpha is still healthier. Now that the cult is being forced into a bit of a hurry, not all top-tier ones have such a battle with bloodline concentration. Close black lens bracket. It seems that the courtyard is indeed a headache for the cult. A large number of devil possessions were stolen, causing the progress bar of various human experiments of the cult to be suspended. The blood of heroes that Clare Kageno inherited was far less than that of the 7 shadows. To be honest, it was only of an ordinary level in the courtyard. Quote. No wonder they are locked up so tightly. They are quite wild. Mojay tilted his head to avoid the attack. He looked at the black-haired girl in front of him with interest. Even if her limbs were locked, she still had to fight back with her only weapon, her teeth. Oh Moses Roy, TCH, have you been avoided? You. Clang. Before Claire could say anything harsh, she suddenly realized that the chains that bound her had been torn apart. The young man in gorgeous clothes in front of him seems to have a different style from the person who kidnapped him. I remember you are the second prince. That's right, if you didn't recognize it, I wouldn't have saved you. Just kidding, okay, you are free now. Quote. Although I don't know why His Highness the Prince is here, he is indeed saved. Thank you for now. You, what are you doing? Let go. Before Claire could react, Mojay had already grabbed one of her hands and feet, stroking them carefully. Even if you save me, I have no intention of committing myself to you. Your Highness, please respect yourself. The shy and angry girl subconsciously wanted to fight back, but found that she was unable to move for some reason and could only let Mojay control her hands and feet. Quote. It's really special. Don't make a fuss. I'm treating you with devil's possession. You said, what? Can this be cured? Doesn't it mean that even the Holy Archbishop's healing magic can't cure it? Clare Kageno's eyes widened. She immediately forgot about Mojay's touch to her just now, and quickly asked nervously. That's because the Archbishop is a member of the Diavalis Order. Although they can't actually cure it, we are the only ones in the world who have mastered the treatment method. Under the magical regulation of Mojay, Clare was surprised to find that the originally terrifying devil's possession black spots visibly disappeared from her body. Soon her hands and feet returned to being fair and slender. Clare breathed a sigh of relief in her heart. Although she still didn't know what was going on, she sincerely thanked Mojay at this moment. After all, in this world devil's possession is equivalent to a terminal disease. Anyone who is found to have devil's possession, even if you are a prince or princess, will end up being thrown away on the spot. Clare had symptoms for a long time, but never told her parents because she heard that there was no cure, so she could only hide it from one day to the next. I really want to become stronger. Try it yourself. Drink. Clare didn't hesitate. She gathered her magic power and kicked it out, destroying the wall that had just restrained her. Mojay raised his eyebrows. They have good legs, but don't girls care about what they wear when they fight? Clare realized later that she was still wearing a nightgown, and this high leg kicking technique could be said to be the first time she had sex. His face suddenly turned red with embarrassment, and he gritted his teeth and looked at Mojay. You saw it. It's clear as day. Please forget. If she hadn't been the savior, this girl might have taken action. Mojay raised the corners of his lips happily. It is really rare for a noble daughter with such a straightforward and irritable personality, oh Moses Roy. He casually untied his cloak and put it on her shoulders. Okay, let's listen to the story. The person who kidnapped you is the cult of Diablos. They are a group of villains hiding in the shadows of history, trying to dominate the world and resurrect the devil. Then I am with the leader of Dark Knight Courtyard, Dark Knight Mojay. He extended an invitation to the black-haired girl. Will you join us, Clare Kageno? Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.